Good morning, everyone. I know my hair looks like, it doesn't look too good today, but this is just like my morning, like what it looks like in the morning. It's like sometimes my hair is like wild in the morning, but it's not too bad. Um, I'm happy with my natural looks. I don't have to always have makeup on. But today's subject is going to be like stay focused on what always works for you. Like stay focused on, like, what always works for me is God. And I would like to help everybody to learn that, but I can't push my beliefs on other people because, like, there's successful people that don't serve God. I was successful at one point, and the devil always tries to trip you up. And, like when you're a child of God, he does try to come after the children of God a little bit harder. So, um, a lot of times, you see children of God going through more, but it's not. It's just temporary. Like it's not nothing permanent. What we're going through because we just have a harder battle to fight. With the devil. That's all. It's not like you can't get your blessings. Like you're gonna get unseen blessings, like God keeping your family alive and stuff like that, or whatever it is. Like, so I was just trying to tell you the importance of focusing on God. Even if you stumble, like if you get caught up in a sin, like me, sometimes people will come after me, or not come after me, but sometimes, it's not really your fault that you fall into sins because people want you to sin with them, of course, but you just have to be stronger. That's all. You just have to resist certain temptations. Like I think sexual sins are worse. And we did a whole study on it in California, that like your enemies and stuff can rise up against you if you do like if you're involved with sexual sins. It gave like a whole list of bad stuff that could happen. And I really believe I don't believe that bad stuff can happen. I'm just saying, you know, it's just that, you're outside of God's will. Like when you're doing your own thing, um, you're not really his. You're outside of his will. He loves everybody. He died for everybody. But if you're living for this life instead of like your eternal life, then this life, it's gonna let everybody down basically. But like it's better to just be content with what you have for now and try to just get back up again. Like, don't let outside influences, like me, I got influenced recently. I got woken up out of bed, but I got influenced recently to smoke some weed. But I didn't do any other sins. I mean, I have done worse sins before, and I'm good with it. Oh, good morning, Mario. Mario's saying good morning to me like he always does. He's so cool. um, he's just a good friend. I consider him one of my angels. I mean, we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. It's like, but that was sweet of him. He said good morning right now. He probably knows I'm up. Yeah, I just wanted to like encourage you guys, like, because it could be worse. Like, things could be worse. Like living in sin. Like I was just gonna tell you guys, like, there are consequences. Like if you sin, like even a sexual sin, there's consequences to that. And you might not think there is, but like, okay, I'm going to use like a bad consequence. Like, if you knew that living in sin, and this is going to be a bad consequence right here, I'm going to tell you. If you knew that turning away from God and just doing your own thing would cost somebody in your life to not be there, like, or like, what if one of your children, what if something bad happened, I'm just saying, like, this is real stuff, you know, not just bad stuff is going to happen if you sin, but this is real stuff that it could be a consequence, like from one bad sin. You could go out and party and go have sex one night and then wake up the next day and somebody could call you and say something bad news, like really bad news about somebody you love that's not going to be there no more. So just take my advice. Like, it's better to focus on God. Like there's unseen blessings. Like right now, I just got my NCID number for school. That's a blessing. You know how hard it's been for me to get back into school with all the trauma I've been through? With seeing my kids get chased by sheriffs and my daughter calling from a hospital bed saying, Mommy, call the police. And then when I called the police, they didn't go to her bedside. Then I had to go to the police station and the police did nothing. I got harassed by 3 different policing agencies. Okay? Now, I don't know if later down the road something good is going to come out of this, like where they're going to recover the stolen property, which is over 50 grand, and I'll be sitting in my beach house with my children someday because of what they did to me, and I'm sustaining injuries, and then I've had, people just like treat me like, it wasn't a serious thing, or like when I had any kind of accomplishment, for my family not to even, praise me about it, like, or share. Like when I did the movie, I was in a movie and nobody even said, "Oh, congratulations, you were in a movie," and shared it. None of my family even shared it. It's like, like nobody is holier than thou, okay? Like people think that like they're better than other people, and it's like, no, you're not. You could have been in a bad car accident and the same thing could have happened to you. Like you could have got brutalized by a crooked county and had your kids kidnapped for 10 years. And then where would you be mentally? Are you going to be in your normal right mind? No, you're not. But there could be a blessing at the end of it too. Like they could recover the stolen property one day and I could be just sitting pretty in a freaking beach house. And then are you going to be thinking you're too good for me then? I don't think so. Because I'm going to be too good for a lot of people when that happens. But I am going to remember the people that turned on me when I do get to that point of my blessings. So you never know where your blessings are going to cut, when they're going to come in. It could be 5 years down the road, but it could come in. So don't ever give up on God, because he's the one that orchestrates all this stuff from behind the scenes, is what I'm saying. Like, keep your focus on God. He created you for a purpose. He has a purpose and a plan for your life. Like, whenever I get back into college, he sees I'm trying. If I was just sitting here saying, oh, I don't have to go back to college, he's got a plan for my life. I might be a lawyer, a judge. I might work for the news. I might be a newscaster like I really wanted to be. And then the people that just turned their back on me and said I was crazy because I was going through a mental damaging issue of after I was brutalized by 3 different policing agencies. I mean, the Gilroy police just barged in my house when I was a volunteer parenting services. That's an illegal search and seizure of my home, okay? And that gives me mental damage too. To try to come in like I'm a bad person. Okay, what are you trying to say here? You're going to slander and libel me too? In court? You're going to throw me innocently into court when I was just a volunteer parenting classes? But that was later down the road. That was after I got brutalized twice. Once by the Morgan Hill police, then I got yelled at by sheriffs and all this other stuff, and they were moving my daughter from school to school, trying to put a harness on her and say she was that out of control, because they didn't have anything on me of being a bad mom, so they had to try to say my kids were out of control. So they can make them wards of the state to steal thousands and thousands of dollars of state and federal benefit fraud that is going on right now as we speak. And I am going to send this video to Mike Wasserman, because I've been a born-again Christian since I was like, 15, 16 years old? And I'm being labeled all these different things. And the blessing behind that was that I'm getting like $1,029 every month of free money, and I had given my life to God at 15 years old. So you think later down the road, if I stay focused on God, that I'm not going to have a blessing? You think that I won't find a good husband, or I won't? No, all that is in the works. Everything is in the works. And I'm not going to just settle for what the devil dragged in or the cat dragged in. Your blessings will chase you down and overflow. Like last night I got blessed. My friend bought us dinner. He bought me and Mario dinner at a real nice place. He was willing to take us anywhere, because he had money. He had like $200 with him. And he just said, whatever. We went to the store. We went to the store and I had my $95 of food stamps that I had. That's a long story. I mean, like, I'm trying to figure out what they're doing with my food stamp case, but I found food stamps on the card that I had. It was like $95, so I was like, cool. But then we still got short. We still wanted to buy more stuff, so my friend covered the bill for me. So, I mean, it says in the Bible, your blessings will chase you down. That was a blessing, but, you know, people don't think that being on government assistance is a blessing, but, I mean, it's COVID right now. I wasn't paying rent for like 6 months. I would have still been over there, probably not paying rent because they didn't want to fix the uninhabitable part of my apartment. It was uninhabitable because, you know, the bugs, and they didn't ever come in my room because we used to keep them just we used to like keep them in the kitchen and just like I used to bleach down everything, and I had them under control pretty much, but I wasn't going to have to pay rent because the judge told me. The judge said, you know, it's uninhabitable, so until they fix that problem, you don't have to pay rent. But then when I had all these bad roommates, that was a reason for them to get rid of me, you know. So. But it all worked out, you know. Me and my coworker, you know, got a place to stay because we were in a hellhole, you know, sharing it with all these other people, and it wasn't clean. And our friend Butch is gonna bring us some stuff. We're all friends. We're like a little family that we created because he just went through a bad divorce, and you know, we're like a little family. He's friends with Mario and friends with me, and he was like, "What do you need for the house?" Like, he's just offering stuff, and that's nice, and took care of us last night, you know. So, you know, so being a Christian doesn't mean that you're down and out forever. I mean, we were down and out, you know. We just moved in and we didn't have a lot of stuff. We still don't have a lot of stuff. We still need like Tupperware and all kinds of stuff. But like if I cook a dinner, I need something to keep it in so we can eat leftovers for a couple of days. Because I was thinking of making fajitas, and I got some bell peppers and onions. But this conversation is just mostly on focusing on God and some of the unseen blessings that you might not be seeing right away. But it says it's better to suffer for righteousness than to suffer as a sinner. That's going to be worse because your consequences are going to be worse. There could be drastic, serious consequences of living in sin. You know, and I don't want those consequences. I don't want somebody to like convince me that it's okay to sin. Oh, it's okay. You know, God forgives us and all this and stuff. You know, I want what's best for my life, and that's why I choose God first. You know, and all these other things could just be like a prop, you know, like, or something to deceive you. You could see some old lady who goes to church and be like, "Oh, I don't want to be that old lady going to church, and I don't have a husband, and I don't have the support of my kids, or they left me in a convalescent home or anything like that." No, that's not going to happen. Okay? Because if you believe in God and what the Bible says, you have to look at the promises of God. He says, "Ask and you shall receive." Okay, so I'm already asking God for my king. I'm like, "Lord, I want my king. I want the husband that you have prepared for me, my soulmate, my true kingdom husband," you know, without having to go backwards, or, you know, maybe he would heal my marriage or whatever it is that he's going to do. I'm still married, you know. I'm not going to go and fight some girl over my husband because that's up to him to decide what, you know, I'm not going to make his decision for him. You know, like I felt like a while back God was saying, hurry up and go to Massachusetts, but, you know, it's water under the bridge. I can't go backwards, you know, right now. I just have to rely on God's power and His grace and His mercy to get me through the next season of my life. And I'm going to be a college student, and I'm going to go back to college, and I'm going to get even a 2-year degree. I could be a substitute teacher. Or I like to give back, and being a teacher is giving back because they don't get paid a lot, but they do a lot for their students, and I like giving, and I like feeling like I'm needed. My kids don't need me, they're independent. So I have other kids in my life that do need me for stuff, like I do counseling, or I pray for them, or you know, I do stuff that, you know, like I basically try to be there for them, you know, in a positive light. because these are the people that God has placed on my path, and their choices are going to make their life to be what it is. If they choose bad, I can't tell them to just be a nun like me and don't have sex. They're young kids. I can't say give your whole life to God right now, because that's almost impossible for young people to do that. But when I was young, I did that. And I ended up, just, I got sick. My whole summer I was in a mental hospital because I had got date raped and felt like I didn't have good self-esteem. So I was just suffering with emotional issues, and I was in a mental hospital, but I wasn't forgotten by God. In other words, it's not being crazy at any point if you have emotional breakdowns. It's just from stuff that you've seen in your home. We've had stuff happen in our home, where my dad had really bad PTSD from the war, and he wanted to kill himself. And, we've all experienced having suicidal thoughts in our life, like everybody has. It doesn't mean you're going to go through with it. And it shouldn't be used against you later, because, if you're not suicidal currently, then, I try to reach out and try to help people, because I'm a healer. I'm spiritual, so of course I want to find out what's going on with people, because I care so much about people. And it seems like I'm not all the way there, but I'm just trying to reach out, like what's going on with you kind of stuff. I'm kind of like an empath, and I can kind of feel other people's pain. Like I know one of my friends that I did have a crush on someone, and then I felt like at one point they had separation anxiety. And I got that way when I was in Texas, and I started missing some of my Vegas friends, and I had really bad separation anxiety. I would wake up feeling like that person was a part of me, and now I'm feeling like separation anxiety. That's why I did that video on separation anxiety, because I felt like that. My son and my daughters have gone through that, because my family separated me from my little babies when they were little, and they were going through stuff, and then they separated me from my babies and tried to throw me into, a hospital when I was not really that sick. I was just my mom pulled up to one, and I'm like, Mom, are you kidding me? If you want to take me to counseling, that's one thing, but don't pull up to a freaking psychiatric ward. I got my baby and I ran. I mean, anybody would freak out if they were in one of those places when they were a kid, and then your mom goes and pulls up to one. It's I got my baby and I ran to my friend's house. It's dude, my mom's trying to put me in a mental hospital. She's like, well, why don't you go get therapy? I said, I don't care about therapy, but why would you pull up to one of these mental hospitals? You're trying to plot to put me in there? No. I'm sorry. I've already been there, done that, where she just walked out on me when I was in a mental hospital. And I was like, Mom, don't leave me here. This is ridiculous. But I was all drugged up. They had me all drugged up on medications. I didn't have a say-so. I was a minor. So they were going to give me the medicine that I was supposed to take. And it caused really bad side effects, really bad ones, It's and lithium is bad for you. It messes up your liver, and it causes thyroid problems later. But luckily I wasn't on it for very long. But Joey's taking it now, and that shit is going to fuck up his thyroid and cause liver problems, when he could just do natural holistic medical treatments. And I hope he sees this video, because it's you don't need that medication. You just need to get off the alcohol and the drugs, and then you can, do natural holistic things like your endorphins and eating right and getting regular mental health care. Yeah, therapy and stuff helps. I can't get my medical stuff straight. I'm trying to straighten all my medical stuff out. Just they didn't send me my packet. I asked them. I'm like, can you send me a packet so I can get a primary care doctor? Because without a primary care doctor, you can't go to the other doctors. So now I got to wait on that. I'm trying to get a breathing machine. It's she's, it's it just seems like you're having difficulties sometimes, yeah, because you don't know what's going to be thrown at you. But, there are consequences to our choices. I chose to get high for a couple of days because it was just everything was snowballing on me. But I feel better, It is medicine. Weed is medicine. And anything you put before God is definitely going to be a sin. It could be a boyfriend, girlfriend. It could be your your social media. It could be anything. That's why they have like little Daniel fasts and stuff, and they have like little fastings that you could do, like to where you're gonna give up TV for a day, or you're gonna give up social media for a day. Those are like little fastings that you could do to focus on God. Like, okay, this is going to be read the Bible day or whatever. We're just going to focus on God today. We're just going to read the Bible today. So, or we're just, I had a nice prayer. I like making friends because I can pray with them. I just prayed with my friend before he left. He sometimes he crashes here, and just like, it's harmless. It's not like sex or anything. We're just a little family here. But Mario sits on the couch. He was like on the floor, half on the bed, half on the floor. He fell asleep like that. I go, you can lay on the bed. I have a huge bed, and you're welcome. You're welcome to come spend the night. It's like I'm just a family-oriented person, and I make friends, and they become family. So, and I feel bad when my friends don't understand me, when they think I'm like some bad person, or I don't know. Maybe they've had like a bad experience with women, and I'm not out to get anybody. I'm just like trying to be there for my friends. Like, is there something going on that you could tell me about, and I'll be there for you? Like, like we could pray about it, or you could come to my church and see what kind of church family I have. Like, there's a lot of nice people at church. So it is what it is. I just got to be patient and wait on God, and sometimes his timing is good. Maybe I'm not ready for a husband yet, or like the whole thing, or maybe I have experienced bad relationships, like guys that would just take advantage of my kindness, or like slave me around, or whatever it is. Like, I'm not a slave. I'll cook or whatever. I'll do, or I think I'm a good person. I mean, everybody has good and bad days. People have days where they don't even want to clean or cook. They're just like, no, I don't want to do anything today. I just want to sleep, and that's okay. It's normal. You don't have to cook and clean every day. I mean, if you like doing it, I don't mind cooking and cleaning, but I have other stuff to do, and I might not be able to make meals every day. I got to go to school. I got to get my education. I might just make a sandwich, or, that kind of thing. Or it's going to be like sandwich night, where I'll get the rolls and the avocado and the turkey or whatever, the lettuce, like healthy lettuce or healthy bread, and it's going to be sandwich night. Or just make a chart. I might start making a chart, like, okay, this is what I want to cook for dinner, and it's going to be in the fridge for a couple of days because it's got to be used for leftovers, and then the next day is going to be sandwich night. Or just make a list of how the meals are going to be, because other people don't necessarily cook, so they can like make their own food or whatever. Eating a bowl of cereal is like dinner sometimes, if you don't feel like cooking dinner. Not everybody feels like cooking a 4-course meal every night, and it's messy too. You got to clean up all the mess and all that. I mean, yeah, I don't mind. I like cooking. Cooking has become like a hobby of mine. That's why I post like cooking stuff. But just going on and on. It's like, you're like, are we giving you therapy, or what are we talking about here? All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I just had to say that you should just put God first, because you don't know what that consequence is gonna be, and you don't know what your blessings are gonna be. Like, you could open the door and the Publishers Clearinghouse is there or something. You don't know what your blessings are gonna be. Like, hello. And I would love to win something big, but I like to give more than I like to receive. I mean, yeah, I like to get gifts and all that. Who doesn't? But that's not why I'm living. I'm not here for that. God has a purpose and a plan for my life. I might work for the police department someday and find missing children, or find people that are being human trafficked, or whatever my calling is. He knows what it is. I don't know what it is. He knows. I might be a lawyer, or I don't know what God. My mom told me a long time ago. She's like, you always have to get the last word in, so I think you would be a good lawyer. And I do. I think I would be a good lawyer, because I use analogies, and I know I'm just like, but whatever God has, it's already written. He knows, He knows what the plans are. So I just have to just walk in walk and be humble. Just give my life to God. He knows what my life is going to turn out to be. He knows my future. Whether I stay with my husband that I currently have or whether I find a new husband, he knows my future. So I don't have to be afraid. It says, like, we don't have to fret. We don't have to worry. Fret not. Don't worry. Don't worry about nothing. Like, God feeds everybody. He feeds the birds. He feeds everybody. So we don't have to worry about none of that. All we have to do is just give our life to Him, surrender our life to Him, especially before it's too late. That's just the message for today. Thank you.